Hello there, Fern the Fan friends, and welcome to our show where we're coming to you live from Lincoln, New Hampshire. If you're ever out for a nice snowmobile ride, you go ahead and you come on down here to Sled Adventures. They're awesome. They'll treat you right. We had a great time. Been snowmobiling for 2 days. Having a great time on these wonderful skidoos. Give you a little look here. Now there is lots and lots of fun sleds. Again, if you're ever in New Hampshire, you come on up here to Sled Adventures and you have a great time. Now let's get back to building our trailer. We are here with some more fun for you. As you can see, my wife and I just had a little bit of fun in New Hampshire. Great time snowmobiling, but now we are back working on the trailer. I've been trying to figure out how to do this next phase of our trailer because, as you know, here on Fern the Fan, we don't do anything easy. We do it the hard way. I've tried to simplify how we're going to do this next phase, and I think I have it figured out. So let's go ahead and get rolling. In this part of our build, we're trying to do several things. The overall goal is to have our counter put in here, to have a wall here and a shelf here. We also need to enclose our battery box down here. And the big thing is right here. Not like the other things weren't anything big. But for all of you who have been with us since the beginning, and those of you who just joined us, hello and welcome and thank you. We have, let's just turn this down a little. We have the original ice box that came with this 1946-47 trailer. I've got it all held together with string right now, but the goal is to rebuild this ice box and reinstall it back in this corner of the trailer. Now, I've always suspected there's going to be a little bit of an issue with this ice box fitting with our ribs and our rear wall. And you know what? Yes, we have an issue. Our ice box is about 1.5 inches, 2 inches too long. Now that's okay, that's okay. I was planning on rebuilding this ice box anyway, but also along with that, I'm trying to get our counters and our walls and everything to fit in here. So I guess what I'm saying is, it's a good thing we didn't glue this stuff in, because once we build this, this might just have to come back out so we can slide our ice box in. What a challenge. We're not going to worry about our ice box today though. We will know how wide it's going to be and how tall, so we'll know where, we'll know what, so we'll know after we build it that it should slide right in, should being the operative word. But until then, we need to go ahead and continue with our build. Well, we're going to go ahead and go over to the table saw. We're going to cut our shelf that goes along here, and then we're going to cut a wall. Well, we're going to cut a piece of plywood to form our wall that goes down there, and then we're going to put a backer on it, and blah, 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 blah. So let's get rolling over to our table saw, and we'll cut out our shelf and our sidewall, and we'll get those to fit. So now what we need to do is we just need to cut our notch here and our little itty bitty notch right there. so that our shelf will sit nicely on our frame inside. And I'll show you that in a minute after we cut these out. We have our shelf, we have our 2 notches cut in it, and it is, for a minute there I thought it wasn't going to fit, but that is a gorgeous fit. All right, with our shelf in place here, now we just need to make this side wall over here. As you just saw, we made our flat shelf. Now we're making our edge wall, and we need to cut out this little piece right here, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. But we need to also make a little pocket right along here that our shelf will be able to sit into. And normally we would go ahead and get out the router and cut that. I think since we're only doing this one, we're gonna be brave and we're gonna use our table saw so we can cut out just a little bit of a groove for that shelf. There. Now you can see we have a nice little groove in there. So I took the time to get this wall to fit in just perfectly. And I went ahead and I cut a groove in the bottom of this shelf here so that our little divider piece will be able to slide right in there. We can do it one-handed. Well, you get the idea. So that it has a little notch or a little dado to sit in, so it'll be nice and secure. Now what we need to do is we need to make a piece that goes across the entire back here. That way it'll separate our battery box from our storage, from our ice box, and then that leaves this room right in here for the sink and the stove. So let's go ahead and get this last piece cut in there, and then we're ready for, I think we're ready for some paint. Okay. Just under there. She fits wonderfully. Now you might be wondering why I left a little shelf here and a little bit of a gap between the edge of our cabinet and our back kitchenette wall. Well, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to tuck some lights underneath here because we want them to be modern lights, the LEDs, but since they didn't have those in 1947, at least not for trailers, I don't think, we want to go ahead and have lights in our trailer at night, but we don't want to see them. So we're going to tuck them up underneath there so we can have a nice light on our surface here, but we won't be able to see them visually. I think we're going to do the same thing when we get to our lighting. I'm going to have a little light in this cabinet, this one, and this one. Again, tucked up under so you can't see it. What is the next phase? Well, we need to take all of our pieces now, sand them down just real lightly, and then paint them up. But before we get to that painting, let's take a little special break back to Maine and show you one special light. Okay, friends, one more thing here. We're in York, Maine at the Nubble Lighthouse. Isn't that beautiful out there? If you ever get to Maine and New Hampshire, it's a beautiful place to be. It's painting time here where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards to paint. We are running a little low on paint, so I hope we have enough to finish this part of our project. If not, well, that's what the stores are for, right? Oh, here we're painting on our yummy, yummy ice cream paint. This is the first coat. We're gonna have to do 2. First coat kind of brings all the wood fibers and stuff to the top. And then you have to sand it off to make it smooth, and then you add a nice final coat to it. All right, we'll let that one dry. And we'll go ahead and just continue to paint here, and I'll show you the results when I'm done. As you can see, I've put our first coat of paint on all of our 5 pieces, and then I just set it here in place. I'm going to go ahead and add one more coat of paint to it before I nail it and glue it all back together. But I want to get this video out to you, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it now. But this will serve as our rear cabinets for storage. And so you can see here, we're going to have storage here, our battery here. Next time when you see us, I'll have this all glued in place and painted. I'll have this all glued in place, and we're gonna work on something else to keep this trailer rolling along. If you like what you've seen, go ahead and hit that like button if you don't mind. And if you have any comments, go ahead and give me a comment. Otherwise, y'all have a great week now.